let's call this, meeting of the Deon ISD Board of Trustees to order. It is November 18th at 6 p.m. and this is the first of two meetings. This is the notice of hearing of financial integrity, rating system of Texas. We have everyone here except for Derek, who is on his way. Our discussion item is our first report of financial integrity rating of Texas, and as you can see,
we're superior. So, I will tell you, thanks to you all for making good decisions, and thanks to Mr. Thompson for great guidance, and we hope that this continues. But we've never gotten a rating below this, but once in a while something happens and you do, but this is based on last year's details. But we're always very pleased to get a superior rating. Questions, answers, I don't know. As you can see, there's a lot of different things that go into it, but
yeah, you've got a good level of detail back here in the back, just like they always provide to you.
Yeah.
The, some of it is yes and no, and some of it is the scale. And so I'm sure you've all gone through this in great detail. So if you have any questions on any of that, okay, wonderful. Well, then we are looking for a motion for adjournment on this first meeting.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Okay, Carol.
Second.
I don't think we have to have all in favor for an adjournment, right? We just-
Well, that's not the end of the meeting, see, we're,
Okay, and we're gonna say that that is 6:01, I guess. It's actually 6 o'clock, even right now, that's okay.
that's like it's not ever right.
Okay. All right, let's call to order our second meeting, still November 18th. 6:02 p.m., this is the regular meeting of the Deon ISD Board of Trustees. We still have our quorum, and Derek is still absent, but he is on his way as soon as he can get here. Sadly, he is gonna miss, but we are recording it for him. His daughters, Jessica and Jenna Otwell, will lead us in the pledge. Immediately following the invocation, and I'll ask Ben again, if you don't mind, to lead us in that invocation. Thank you. We're gonna, I'm so sorry, we're gonna get the invocation first, and the pledge will follow. I apologize.
Dear Lord, we just come here this evening, Lord, just ask that you just be with us, Lord, and guide us through this meeting, Lord. Let us keep students at the center of attention and focus, and just let us make good, sound decisions, Lord. Lord, let us all travel home with safety after this meeting, and Lord, we just thank you for everything that you do for us, and forgive us where we fall and fail you, Lord. We say these things in the name of your magnificent Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen, thank you. All right, ladies, if you would mind coming to the front area.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you all very much. We appreciate you.
Is there a bonus of some kind for these two young ladies for showing up to do this?
There's cookies.
Oh, they're cookies, there are definitely
There's
cookies.
cookies over there.
Okay, so we have no citizen participation this evening. Let's move to the consent agenda. Approval of the minutes of our previous meeting. Does anyone have any changes or anything for this?
Jessica, Jen, in the fridge, there's drinks right below you.
I think that all,
I didn't see any.
I think that all looks good. Okay,
I'm typed up this time.
Either that or I read it right over the mistake.
Isn't this are these your minutes? Because these
Carol
cannot
took
be
them out,
present.
and I
easy, and there, and.
We made it through.
Because the gas leak.
And I can
Anytime, Terrell, anytime. That's a no. Okay, we'll move to the comparison of revenue to budget, please.
Well, we're doing really well. It's early in the year, but, our expenditures are below our revenue at the point. In the next item, you'll notice that the taxes have begun to come in. This is the time of year that the state expects us to live on our taxes for the next 2 or 3 months and before we get any state aid, so, it works out pretty well. So, since our last meeting, we've had $212,039.35 paid in taxes, and I'm sure at our next meeting, it'll be a lot more.
Okay. Any questions on either the, comparison of revenue to budget or the tax collections report? Not, then we are looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Looking for a second?
I'll second it.
Voting. All those in favor? Okay, that's everyone. So we are 6. Okay, so we have discussion items, our campus reports and program reviews. I think as we discussed before, there's nothing for November unless you have something really exciting that you want to talk about to us.
I had just do a little short blurb, because we did have some exciting things.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how many exciting things I've had, but I did go to job.
I said that was an exciting day.
It was a good day. We went to job fair at Charlton, and so that was really nice. I think that probably the one in February will be better because it's just educators. This was kind of a mix of different degrees, but props to Ben. Ben really did good. He counseled a lot of young people. Was trying to help them with his knowledge of degree plans and things, so he was very helpful, so that was good. We're getting ready for family night. That's coming up quickly. It's hard to believe this month is already just gone. We try and do a lot of things this time of year to keep up teacher morale. You know, it's struggle to get to Christmas. So right now we're doing a little fun thing. It's called Turkey in My Pocket, and it's where there's 3 turkeys floating around, and teachers go up to others and say, "Do you have a turkey in your pocket?" At the end of the day, if they're able to hold on to their turkey, they turn it in for a prize. So just trying to do those little fun things to keep them going. Like we had a little Thanksgiving breakfast meal. So anyway, just little fun things to try and keep them pumped up and going. Got a lot of hot field trips coming up over the next couple of weeks. Kindergarten's going to Baldwin's Dairy. We are going to, first grade's going to the Fort Worth Science Museum. 3rd grade's going to Safety City in Abilene. 4th grade just went to the Mammoth Museum in Waco. And 5th grade's going to Casa Manana. So we've just been busy and everybody's ready for this. Ready for a break.
So, we finished up our fundraiser of bundt cakes, and we're very excited to know that, we sold a total of $6,255 in bundt cakes. Our 6th grade one was by selling 450, 8th grade was second with 157, and 7th was with 143. And so we, we're really
Change drawers empty, any jars empty.
and we, every time we walk by us at the market, "You need some more?" He goes, "No." Mr. Miller is graciously going to allow Mandy Stokes, she headed this up, and take the band trailer to come pick them up, and we'll hold them and get that going. And we had something really exciting happen. Dr. Maribel sends out these little quest things every now and then. This was a really good one. It came from a hilltop hunt. And our teacher, Kenzie Garcia, won it, and it's a $10,000 donation to our school. So it's really good. And that's also a pizza party for the 8th grade. So, and just so you know, and y'all all know Kenzie, she's making a list to come and talk to Dr. Maribel.
Well, she's already been here, and she said, "I just want to make sure it goes to us," and I said, you may make suggestions, but the board has to approve it first. Approve accepting the money first. I said, that's the way it goes, but you may make suggestions.
And she's got a list, so, last week our 8th graders went to Baylor University, and tomorrow Wednesday our 7th graders have a really great trip to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. So that's part of their, trip, so we're really excited about that. Kinda helps right before this break to lessen some of that, but, when I left the game, 7th grade boys basketball, they were down by about 6, but now a quarter to go, so hopefully, challenging.
Basketball has started.
Yes, ma'am.
High school, we have our career fair. We do an annual career fair where all the kids get to go and we have businesses come in. That'll actually take place on Wednesday. Talking with Ms. Boswell, she has about 8 more businesses or organizations coming in than we did last year. Each year it just gets bigger and bigger and better and better. This year we're actually, the years past, it was just our juniors and seniors that attended. This year we're gonna push all the way down to our freshmen, give them an opportunity to go in there. We're gonna prep the businesses, all that coming. With the understanding of the conversation with the senior is gonna be different than the conversation with a freshman. So that's coming up on Wednesday during school hours. Thursday night, we have our one-act play in conjunction with, I believe middle school students as well, is going to do a play, the best Christmas pageant ever. That's at 6 o'clock on Thursday night. And then Friday, we have a wonderful football game still going, which is exciting. This last couple of weeks, Mr. Miller and I had the opportunity to go to Washington DC and represent Leland ISD in getting the Blue Ribbon School award. That is it was a very wonderful trip. The greatest thing about it was just networking with people across the United States on how they educate kids. We all in the same basket to some extent, talking about career technology, the things that they're doing. We ran into a group of 2 school leaders from Alaska, which I found was very interesting. I sat and had a conversation with the superintendent out of Louisiana, and he picked my brain on how we're doing career tech and getting kids prepared for the workforce and all that kind of stuff. So just collaborating in that aspect, and then also getting the opportunity to brag on what we're doing. I will say, we're in a great place. The things that we are doing here, stuff that Lisa's kind of driving in regards to P-Tech. I've said it a bunch lately. You're gonna look up in 5 years, De Leon is gonna be the best school in 60 miles because of where we're at and what's going on. So it was a great opportunity. Got a wonderful little plaque that we'll put at the school, a banner, a flag, and all that wonderful stuff that we'll figure out where we're gonna put it and start showcasing it. So great things are going on at the high school.
Lisa, do you have anything?
It's just slow right now.
Money's in and we're spending it.
For music, we had our junior high region band last week tryouts, and we placed 3 7th graders actually for 7th and 8th grade competition. So that was a great thing. And then last Saturday, our students went to Tarleton. We took 5 high school students to Tarleton for band day. They played in a 356-piece band with the Tarleton Sound and Fury. It was really exciting. And then coming back from the Thanksgiving holidays on the 5th, which is a Thursday, is our Christmas program for the 7th, 8th grade. It'll be combined as a junior high group, and then high school will play that day. So our Christmas concert will be on the 5th. It's a Thursday evening. And then our high school tryouts for region bands is that Saturday, the 7th. And then we are in contact with the nursing homes to see if we can get a small group in and spread some holiday cheer for them. So we're busy.
We've got
And
safety
then we're-
on Wednesday.
Squished in for football / today Christmas. And then on the safety, you want me to save it for later or go now? I'll just go now. Okay, I just want a safety meeting on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Everybody is absolutely welcome to come to that. It'll be a relatively short agenda for this safety meeting. Just not a whole lot going on, other than surveys from the Texas School Safety Center. There's one every week almost. And I've already done the one you sent me, that
All
was,
right, thank you.
and so, it's just wonderful. And I had blessed opportunity to go down and do a school safety thing last week, with was, keeping kids safe is really what it was. And the lady who was the presider was a fourth grade teacher at Hook Elementary when they got attacked. And, her daughter was one of the ones who was murdered that day. And that's how she got our attention right off the bat. She said, "Now, I'll tell you a story about a fourth grade teacher and her child being shot in another room, and she had to take care of her kids in her room," you know, and that was me. And from there, she presided over that, and we all just were in awe that she could actually talk about it and do that, so. But she had some really great things that I'll present to the safety committee on Wednesday.
All right, thank you. So for the facility projects update, we have got at the football field, an entrance going on, I guess. So
That's what, the highway department promised that to us,
Okay.
but they didn't do it.
Mhm.
And David and I met with them, and, they're doing it now.
Great.
So, you saw how all through the season, every time it rained just a little bit, all that gravel would wash right out. And so they're building an apron in, and then they're building a wall, at the other end across. So I think it'll stop a lot of that erosion, and they're doing what they said they were gonna do.
Good, that's
So,
wonderful.
thanks
Yeah,
to-
It's exciting.
David,
They're pushing.
yeah, just
They're
need a
pushing.
push. Yeah.
Any other, items going on for projects? I know that the restrooms at the, baseball field and softball field, I think, are finally complete. Did the city tie the sewer lines in?
I'm not sure. but
Okay,
they
I know
will
he was-
before baseball
Yeah,
season.
I know
they
he was
promised.
checking on that, he's keeping a close eye on it, so, and, I believe the winter ride came up, looks really pretty at the fields, if you haven't seen that.
It looks good.
And, I don't think there's anything else.
Everything's going well. We are, Vicky for us, and no one ever sees it, but people who work in this building, especially Mike and Rachel, but I don't know if you even know, there's a courtyard in the middle of this building. And stuff grows in it, and it gets away from us because we're tending to everything else, and this has been the project for the last 2 weeks. They're going in and cutting some fairly small trees and some large weeds and things and cleaning it up. So we hope to get a grip on it, and it won't look so bad anymore. But, you forget about it being there until you walk in technology and you look out there and it's like a jungle. So it really is gonna be nice for us to get that up.
I would have put one of those metal Sasquatches in it, just left it, but.
I'm thinking about getting a coat.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know where you can get through.
Okay, the next item is the distribution of the Team of 8 self-evaluation instrument, which many of you have it here beside your laptops.
Last year, I think we all did it, and just as a matter of going through and thinking through, and then discussed later. If we
I think we
can-
discussed it at the January meeting.
So this is just for you to look through and think about.
Any board training opportunities that you know of?
Not that I know of, it's kind of a downtime. I think everybody's holding their breath for the legislature to convene.
Okay, great. So let's move to the action items, consideration and approval of donations and gifts to the district, which you will see this lovely $10,000 on here for Kinsey, or in honor of Kinsey.
Well, I didn't know exactly how to word it, but I think this will encourage, because we do often get these things, and sometimes we just think, we're not gonna win. And if you don't enter, you won't. And so I think Kinsey is hooked. I promise you, she will enter everything that comes across now. Not that we haven't entered things before, but this was one of those little things that just came across, and they said to share it with your teachers, and several of our teachers did do it. Kinsey kind of incorporated it into her class, and they kind of did it together. And so they had a good time, but $10,000 donated. They wanted to donate it to our foundation. We don't have a foundation, and I said, just donate it to our school. And
But it will stay on the middle school campus, the money.
The suggestions are coming from the middle school campus, I promise.
Kensing's the one that.
I promise you, I will.
This is good. Very good.
I promise you, Kenzie Garcia will, not give up on that, because she was over here actually the next day, saying, I just wanna make sure, and I said, Kenzie, make suggestions of what y'all would like, what you need. Well, I don't know, I said, well, you know, it needs to be educationally sound, so she's doing that. Farmers and Merchants Bank, gave money toward our Blue Ribbon Dinner, which was very nice, thank you very much. The Comanche County Medical Center gave $100 for our health science room, which is great. And that program is just flourishing, and it's going to get better and better as we go along. And the Booster Club, donated $6,000 for Bearcat football. This is the appropriate way for a Booster Club to do things, so they donate to us, and then we spend it to them, so.
For example, how will you spend it?
Well, for things that they want in football.
Yeah, so I think that each athletic organization requests from the Booster Club, we would like to have this, and here's the dollar amount, and then Booster pays the school, and then they pay for what they want out.
Yeah.
So they probably have something pretty specific in mind for that amount. Hey Derek, how are you?
Hey.
I keep hoping for, a bigger tunnel that's taller than everybody else's.
No, we had one, but it's very hard to transport and to find people to put it up and take it down.
We need some of those lights.
Okay. The lights?
Well, ours won't do that. Ours won't.
Already asked David White at the game. Already asked David White.
I've already asked.
You did this to me.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, but it was, for those of you who don't know, when touchdown was scored, the lights in the stadium, dimmed and brightened and dimmed and brightened, pretty impressive.
And we can't just have somebody over there going like.
I thought about maybe passing flashlights out everywhere. But it was very impressive, and several people said, we want that. And I said, I was sitting by David, and David said, I won't do it, I've already tried. Anyway, but it was, so the entire stadium was pretty impressive.
It was, the whole thing was nice. Okay, so, we are looking for a motion on, the approval of those donations and gifts.
I'll make a motion to approve the donations.
A second.
Okay, and all those in favor? I think that was everybody. Okay, let's move to 6.2, consideration and approval of the resolution regarding review of our investment program.
Nothing has changed in our investment program from last year to this year. I think Mr. Thompson was here last year maybe to talk about it, but, I didn't ask him to come this year because it seemed like a long way to come.
Yeah, no,
Just
for
saying
nothing.
nothing has changed.
For nothing has
We
changed,
still-
really not.
When we invest, it's in through the Lone Star Fund, which is a safer way to invest.
Okay, anybody have any questions on that resolution? Okay. Looking for a motion for approval on the resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Okay,
I'll second.
is that Terrell?
Yes.
All those in favor? Okay, it's unanimous. Okay, number 6.3 is consideration and approval of the first report.
The one that we had the hearing for.
Okay, so, we didn't have any questions earlier, do we have any now? Okay, if everyone is good with the first report, as we presented earlier, let's go ahead and have a motion on that one, please.
I'm making a motion on 6.3.
Thank you. Second. Thank you, Rachel. All those in favor? Okay, that's everyone. Okay, the consideration and approval of our summer feeding waiver.
the letter is out of order in your packet, I'm sorry. But if you turn 3 pages over past the board election, this is a letter that we have to send in because we just feel like that the summer feeding program, we tried it and it just was not beneficial. People did not take advantage of it. But we had to cook every day and a huge waste of food and we just couldn't get people to come and participate. So we are, asking you to sign a letter saying that we're not going to participate.
And if we have something come up, like we have this situation in 2020, you can always change your mind.
Yes.
So don't think that this won't cover some sort of special scenario, but this is as for now.
And I will tell you that last summer we had a couple of cases where we had families that we knew were in need of food and we covered it through our shack committee. So we
Great.
went actually bought groceries and made sure they had food, so.
Okay, any questions on that one?
Do you intend to continue that this summer?
Maybe.
The shack?
I'm sorry.
Shack,
Are you
yes.
gonna continue that again this summer with the shack involved?
Well, if there's a need, the shack is always,
So Shack is available, you know, it doesn't matter if it's in session or out of session, you know, Shack's available throughout every school year, summer included. Okay, if there are no other questions, we're looking for approval on the waiver.
I'll make a motion to waive the summer feeding program.
Second.
Cody, all those in favor? Okay, that's everyone. So we need to have a board election. Consideration and approval to call a board election for May 3rd, 2025. And I think there was a bunch of, yeah, there's information here on, all the deadlines and everything coming up for this year's election. It's the same dates as
in
always.
Spanish.
So it's the same, timeframe as it always is. And are we gonna combine our voting?
The city will handle it.
Okay. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, looking for a motion for approval on our board election for May 3rd, 2025.
Also move.
Thank you, second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Consideration and approval of the payment to Region 14 for our insurance runout from 23 to 24.
Okay, as you will recall last year when we talked about insurance, we were told by the service center, by the insurance company, that we were doing very, very well, that our fees were covering all the bills, and that has turned out to not be true. And we, out of clear blue, I think about a week and a half ago or so, I got this letter saying, this is how much you owe. And so I called and said, I know this is a co-op, but are we paying other people's bills? And they said, no. And they sent me a list of all of the bills that have not been paid, and they are all our people. I did not supply you with that because of privacy, but they are our people, and I called Mr. Thompson, and he had already talked to the service center people about it. Service center people are caught in the same boat. They are having to pay because their bills weren't covered. The attorneys are involved, and if you'll, I think in this letter it says even, this may not be the last bill. I don't think it'd be much more, but it may not be the last bill, because there's some August bills in here that I could tell from the charges from our employees.
So our new insurance took over on September 1st.
Yes,
So
our new
there's
insurance took
possible
over.
little wedge, maybe some other things hanging out there for the month of August.
Why is it up in the air that there would still be more?
Because the hospitals and doctors just don't file them.
Claims.
They just
Yeah, it
file
just
them
takes a
late.
while
And,
for all of it to come in,
and so-
sometimes 6 months later.
yeah, that's what they're saying, that sometimes it's 6 months later before they file them. So, it won't be, I just can't believe it'd be much, but just forewarned, I'm not guaranteeing like I did last time, oh yeah, we're doing great. The good news is, we have money to pay it, because we've been very frugal. And, we don't have any big projects planned for the summer, and, I think we'll be fine. Mr. Thompson thinks we'll be fine. But we owe it, and, so I would ask you to approve us paying it. Because they said if we don't pay it by December the something, that if we have some more, they won't pay it. So that would leave our employees holding the bag. But I was assured that we'd only pay for our employees, not for anyone else.
I was gonna say, who all's reviewed this to make sure it's the correct amount?
I've gone over it line by line, and Mr. Thompson has, and it's our employees, our people. Remembering that our people includes the co-op.
Right.
So the co-op people are included in this too, so. That's a thought, I may ask the co-op to.
Well,
I hadn't even thought of that. See, it's nice to talk about these things. They probably need to, we probably need to share.
Don't they pay for their part?
We probably need to share this joy, so. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was perfect timing.
Amazing.
Okay, so the facts of the scenario is that the bill is due, you see the dollar amount there, it's due by a certain time frame, and we've already confirmed that it is our employees that have gone to doctor's visits, et cetera, and these are the bills. And then we're gonna be able to take, money from different, within the budget, from different categories where there's a little extra, and get it paid for. And so, I mean, in my opinion, I agree with Dr. Marable, I mean, we need to pay it. It's no fun, but it's our bill. And it's already happened. It's not a future thing, it's something in the past that has already taken place.
And we're out of the trap now. As soon as we get this done, we will not get in this trap again.
Well, we don't want our people to have to pay it out of their pocket, they're paying everything else.
Right.
And there's a possibility the attorneys will get some of it back, but I'm not going to promise that.
If they do, will we see it back?
Yes,
Yeah.
what they promised that if it comes back, we'll get our share.
Right, but we don't need to plan for that at all. That would be wonderful, but we need to plan for that not to happen. So what questions do you have about it?
I guess I've got a question. We came up and wrote a fairly good sized check at the,
That was for the year before. This is for 23-24.
but Paul said this wouldn't happen again. When he stood right there,
Yes, he did. That's what he was told. He told me that all year last year.
and
All year, every
And
meeting
here
we
we are.
had, every Zoom we had, I said, how are we doing? And they said, we're ahead in fees, we're covering everything, we're fine. And they have not, anything that was incurred after March, all of these bills were incurred after March, were not paid.
So they bear no responsibility.
so, I mean,
Ethan are thinking,
I go back to, is he still employed?
Not by us.
No, I did not, I know he's not employed by us.
We don't, the service center is not using that co-op, that company anymore. And I said, so, he just went right on drawing his salary all year long, and they said yes. And I said, but he did not tell us the truth. We were not led to believe that there would be any more charges. In fact, they said we probably would have a surplus. I think maybe that was even said in here. I don't know, but he told me that we would probably have a surplus. Well, there's no surplus.
No?
But somebody has put some money in somebody's pocket. I just can't help but think that, but because it was a co-op and the service center was the administrator of the co-op, they're the ones that holding the total bag. So, it's really,
Were we the only ones that this happened?
oh no,
All of them?
it's everybody.
So they just like stopped counting in
Yes.
March?
Mr. Thompson told me that one of the school districts that he works with, like he works with us, is in much worse shape than we are. Cause we're really fairly healthy, even when we switched over to the new insurance, and you know, they felt like we were healthy, and that's why we got as good a deal as we did, but from Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Well, and honestly, this is really not that big of a deal when you look at the grand scheme of how much medical procedures cost. I know it feels that way, but it's not, it can be a lot bigger.
But we paid them, we sent in every month $56,000 in premiums, and so, anyway, hopefully the attorneys will get some back, but I'm not counting on it. But Mr. Thompson and I looked at everything, we think that we can, without even dipping into fund balance, we can cover it.
Right, this is inside the budget is what we're saying, is that we can find places and make up for it there.
Let's pay it.
We need a motion to.
Yep.
I guess motion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see where
You can't get.
any other option is.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll second.
Which one?
Which
Keith is
I gotta
our,
write it down.
Keith is our motion and
Okay.
Rachel is our
Go ahead.
second.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll accept it, but I don't see where we have a choice in the matter. No.
Well, that's what Mr. Thompson said, he just said, we don't really have a choice.
It's either pay it or suffer the consequences and,
Well, if we don't pay it, our employees will be asked to pay it out of their
Yes.
own pocket.
neither one's right, but right has nothing to do with this one.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay, are there any, personnel items on number 7 to discuss? Okay, moving to number 8, please don't everyone jump at the same time. Looking for a motion for adjournment. Kevin has made a motion for adjournment.
I did it last time and I wasn't here for 15 minutes. So, whatever.
That's an adjournment at 6:36.
That time.
It was 2 meetings in 36 minutes, that's a record.
I will.
No, I didn't.